Recently, I went back and restarted Pokemon Violet, as I had never finished it for some reason. In doing this, I reintroduced myself to shiny hunting. And then, all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, the only gaming I have done is shiny hunting. And that made me wonder. First off, for those of you that may not know what shiny hunting is, I will explain. Shiny hunting is encountering Pokemon over and over, whether this be by hatching eggs or seeing them in the wild, until you find one that is a different color. The chances of this happening are around 1 in 4,096. It's pretty simple in concept, so why is it so fun and addicting to do? Let's find out. Slot machines use what is called a variable ratio reward schedule. Simply put, this means that you know there will be a reward, but there is no guarantee of when that reward will hit. Sound familiar? This is exactly like shiny hunting. You never know when a shiny might show up, but you know that eventually one will. The fact that you can encounter a shiny at any time makes you want to keep searching for it, because who knows, the next encounter could be the one you've been waiting for. This is why I and many others often find themselves saying, just one more encounter, or one more egg hatched, because it could be the one. Another reason that people often keep wanting to encounter one more is because a large amount of the dopamine from shiny hunting actually comes from the anticipation of getting the shiny. Each encounter that goes by without a shiny only makes the anticipation grow, and in turn the dopamine as well. This self-fulfilling loop keeps you going and going. This is why you can hunt a Pokemon for hours and not be tired of doing so. Once you finally get your shiny Pokemon, you have another release of dopamine. With all of this dopamine throughout the process, and once the goal is achieved, it is no wonder why people get addicted to shiny hunting. It is quite literally structured in a manner that makes you forget the hardships it took to get there, and only remember the good feelings you attained to keep you hunting. One of the main reasons that we like to collect rare things is the thrill of finding something that not everyone else has, as well as the perceived value this item has. We like to know that not just anyone is going to get a shiny Pokemon. Even though everyone has the opportunity, not everyone has the dedication. This challenge that shiny hunting provides is another reason why we love hunting down rare things. Because the harder something is to get, whether that be actually hard to get or a lot of time is required to be put in, the more perceived value that item has. And when we perceive something as valuable and it is possible for us to obtain it, we really want it, as it feels like an accomplishment for ourselves and over others. We as humans strive for completion. This is another reason why we like to hunt. We can hunt down a full shiny line of some of our favorite Pokemon, or if you're really dedicated, a shiny of every single Pokemon to have what is known as a shiny living dex. Our brain is wired to complete things and collect things, especially those that are considered rare or of high value, and shiny hunting is a perfectly designed outlet for both of those things. It's at this point that you might start wondering if Nintendo designed it this way on purpose, but it is widely believed that shiny Pokemon started as a way to show off the colors the new systems were able to produce. This belief is due to the fact that shiny Pokemon were introduced in Generation 2, which were the first main series Pokemon games to have full color. A big reason that people consider shiny hunting to be addictive is because of the sunk cost effect. Meaning if you have already put effort into something, especially a significant amount of effort, you have to keep going because otherwise, what was the point? This is what makes long hunts especially hard to walk away from. If you have encountered a Pokemon, for example, almost 3,000 soft resets for a shiny Dialga, you aren't going to give up because you know that you've already put in so much effort, so why not just see it to completion and be satisfied in the end, and not waste the time you've already put in. Once you're invested in hunting down a Pokemon, you tend to stay invested. A reason for this is because humans tend to frame stopping something as a negative outcome and continuing to be a positive outcome, even in simple situations like shiny hunting that have no actual bearing on how your life turns out. It's just the way we are as humans. In a very similar vein, humans have a psychological need to be consistent with past decisions, meaning that after you've decided to hunt down a shiny Pokemon, your brain sees a need to continue that task to completion. So just know that it isn't just you that feels this need to keep going. There's nothing wrong with that. All humans are wired to have this feeling. Humans seek validation in all places, especially when they do something that takes a lot of commitment. Shiny hunters are no different. There's something about conversing about a topic and sharing your adventures with those that share this interest. In the case of shiny hunting, sharing your obtained shinies within a community of shiny hunters and getting responses of, "Whoa, that's awesome," or "Hey, I have that one as well," makes it feel like the effort you put into obtaining your shinies is not wasted. Shiny hunting is also a whole genre of YouTube and Twitch. Sharing reactions and stories of obtaining shinies can provide people with a career and opportunity to be a storyteller. It is known that sharing stories, especially those associated with positive feelings, can result in a release of dopamine, which is another reason people desire a place where others are interested in hearing about these things. Another part of the social draw of shiny hunting is the fear of missing out. Seeing people have lots of fun and having meaningful social interaction doing something makes us want to participate in said activity, because we like to see what all the hype is about and get in on the action, because we might be missing out on something awesome. A big socially related draw to shiny hunting is the fact that humans have an innate desire to have an identity and sense of self. Identity is deeply intertwined with the human need to belong. Considering yourself or being considered by others as being a shiny hunter can help fulfill at least part of this need. Once you have collected shinies, the joy of having them isn't over. Every time you see them or use them in battle, you can be reminded of a certain story. For example, I have hunted many Pokemon that I liked in my childhood. The hunts themselves weren't necessarily memorable, but thinking back to why I decided to hunt that specific Pokemon brings back nostalgia and happy memories. Shiny hunting can also be very individualized. You can get shinies of your favorite Pokemon, and maybe most others wouldn't consider to hunt it down. Or you could possibly find a shiny with a rare mark on it that barely anyone has, and that just adds to the prestige of obtaining it. Shiny hunts are also, by nature, very unpredictable, which has left me and others with some very memorable stories to tell, even if we get a Pokemon that we weren't even targeting. For example, in Pokemon Violet, as soon as I obtained the shiny charm, I was going hard on shiny hunting. I decided that one of my first hunts would be for a Pokemon that I didn't manage to get in Pokemon Shield, but still desperately wanted. That Pokemon being a shiny Impidimp. To get this, I made a Fairy-type sandwich to boost the encounters of Impidimp I would get. I also noticed that Mimikyu spawned quite a bit, but I was just targeting Impidimp for now. With about 15 minutes remaining in the sandwich, I found my shiny Impidimp. Since I had time left, I turned my attention to Mimikyu. The 15 minutes expired, but after spending that time looking for Mimikyu, I actually wanted it. So I made another sandwich. During the course of the 30-minute sandwich, I ended up finding 4 more shiny Impidimp, which, don't get me wrong, I was happy that I got to have a complete line for shiny Impidimp, but it also was a little annoying because I had an extra 2 that didn't serve a purpose really. Then, after getting a total of 5 shiny Impidimp before I got a single shiny Mimikyu, I decided to switch the sandwich type to Ghost, and eventually I got it. But every time I look at shiny Mimikyu, I remember the time I got 4 duplicate shinies before I finally got the one I was looking for. Have you ever shiny hunted before? And if so, did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it helps the channel out a ton. Thank you all for watching, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and good gaming to you all.